Chào các bạn, hôm nay mình lại đến Juicy Food này. Nhà hàng Juicy Food chuyên đồ hải sản tươi. Ổ số này, địa chỉ 2727A. Chỗ này gần chỗ gọi là Yale Street. Hôm nay mình lại order cái đồ hải sản này, chiều ăn về ăn. Nào, vào đây xem là như thế nào nhé. Đây các bạn ạ, nhà hàng seafood này, có con tôm hùm rất là to này. Mình đã order để đem về. Và đây là nhà hàng bắt đầu đã mở rồi các bạn ạ. Mở rồi tức là mọi người buổi chiều là mọi người có thể vào đây đi ăn được rồi. Đấy, trang trí toàn là cua với cá này. Đây, đây cái nhà hàng này. Nhưng mà mình không ăn ở đây, mình thường là order để mang về. Đây là cái nhà bar, quầy rượu. Trên tivi này đây là nhà hàng seafood, rất là đông khách các bạn ạ, mà họ làm rất là tươi ngon. Ở miền Tây nước Mỹ, rất là nơi mà không có biển, không có nhiều sông hồ ấy, thì cái nhà hàng tươi sống mà có tươi sống như thế này cũng là rất là quý ấy. Ok. Này, có một con ngỗng lững lờ này, lang thang ở ngay cái bãi đỗ xe. Ngỗng Canada đấy các bạn ạ. Hello. Đi, nó chả sợ người gì hết. Trông có vui không? Mình lại đi chợ, cửa hàng châu Á, cửa hàng Hàn Quốc đây các bạn ạ. Name là Asian Mart, hay còn gọi là H Mart. H Mart bởi vì là nó là viết tắt của chữ Hanarium, chắc là tiếng Hàn Quốc các bạn ạ. Đây, H Mart. Đây cửa hàng H Mart. Nào đi cửa hàng các bạn xem mình mua gì nào. Đây nhá, mình mua gạo này, Coco. Gạo này 6,8 kg. Giá là đây 15 đô này, một bịch. Mình lấy một bịch. Đây là chỗ quầy, toàn là gạo này các bạn ạ, nhập tất cả các nơi, từ Thái Lan, Nhật Bản, Việt Nam cũng có. Này, gạo nếp này. Đây. Gạo nếp. Giá là 18 đô. Mình cũng lấy một bịch. Các bạn nhìn này, có cả bún riêu cua này, mì riêu cua. Cái đây là nhập khẩu từ Việt Nam đấy. Giá này 12 đô một bịch, một hộp. Có khi mình lấy một bịch hổ tiếu cá này. Đây, bún riêu cua của Việt Nam. Mình sẽ miến cua. Không, mình thích bún riêu cua ngon hơn. Đấy là bịch bún riêu cua. Hành khô này các bạn. Đồ mình là đồ Việt Nam cho nên là hay ăn hành khô. Lấy một ít hành khô. Xoài này. Xoài một đô một quả. Chanh ta này. Chanh ta giá là 1 đô, có 2 quả. Thế là đắt đấy. Bình thường là rẻ hơn đấy. Này, quả bơ này. Quả bơ giá này 1 đồng 59 xu một quả. Quýt này. Quýt này giá 3 đồng 98 đô, 3 đồng 9, coi như là 4 đồng đấy một túi. Cát chuông này. Cát chuông 1 đồng 89 xu một pound. Cát chuông xanh thì rẻ hơn, 1 đồng 59 một pound. Đây là có quầy rau này các bạn này. Đấy, các bạn nhìn quầy rau củ quả rất là phong phú. Rau cải cúc này các bạn, rau cải cúc. Mướp đắng này, bí đao này. Một đồng một pound này, 1 đồng 2, 1 đồng 3. Cải xong này, cải xong rất là đắt, 2 đồng 6 một pound. Có cả rau diếp cá đấy các bạn ạ, rau diếp cá 2 đồng một pound. Có cả kẻ bẹ này. Kẻ bẹ là 1 đồng 2, 1 đồng 3 một pound. Khoai lang. Khoai lang này nó giống tím tím đấy, 1 đồng 8 một pound. Ngô này. Ngô này là ngô nếp các bạn ạ, ăn rất là dẻo. Một cái gói này là giá 6 đồng đấy, đắt nhưng mà ngon. Nhìn này, tôm hùm này, giá 20 đồng một thao, rất là to. Tôm này, tôm bò đầu đồng 7 đồng. 7 đồng. Cái tôm này thì là tôm biển, giống như là tôm càng xanh cái tôm gì đấy, cái tôm gì mà tôm rất là to này. 13 đồng, gần 13 đồng một thao. Có đây nhìn cá này, cá rô phi thì nó to dã man luôn này. Giá có 3 đồng thôi. Cá rô phi, nhưng ở bên này họ không ăn cá rô phi to, to khủng khiếp luôn. Một con này có khi thì 2 cân. Cá chim này các bạn ạ, cá chim. Giá 6 đồng một thao. Quầy hải sản này các bạn này, cửa hàng đông lạnh. Mình sẽ mua một cái con đây, đùi ếch, giá là gần 10 đồng một cái túi đây, rất là nhiều. Đây là quầy chuyên coi như là về thịt bò đấy các bạn. Thịt bò đây rất là ngon, tất nhiên là đắt hơn cửa hàng Mỹ. Đây là quầy thanh toán này các bạn này, bây giờ vẫn còn vắng, cho nên là mình mua bây giờ là giờ này vẫn giờ làm việc cho nên nó không đông lắm. Đây mình mua một xe này các bạn này, một xe đầy. Mình mua một xe đầy này, tất cả là bao nhiêu? 212 đồng này các bạn này. Đấy. Cái pin này dài như này. Lâu mình không đi mua nên thỉnh thoảng mua, mình mua tương đối nhiều. Đấy, sau khi thanh toán tiền mình mua một xe đầy các bạn này. Có lâu không đi mua, cho nên là hôm nay mua khá nhiều. Này, tất cả là pin thanh toán là này 212 đồng, 212 đô đấy các bạn. Đấy là mua sắm xong rồi đấy các bạn, mua xong rồi. Các bạn xem quang cảnh cửa hàng. Đây các bạn nhìn này, quang cảnh cả bãi đỗ xe này. Trước khuôn viên của cửa hàng tức là chợ châu Á, chợ Hàn Quốc. Nào bây giờ mình vào mình lấy đồ. Bây giờ mình vào để mình lấy đồ hàng mình đặt. Đây bây giờ sau khi đi chợ về, bây giờ bắt đầu ngồi ăn này các bạn này. Ăn bữa này là nửa trưa nửa chiều. Đây.
Okay, here's the corn. You ready? You need more corn?
Yeah, yeah, bring the corn here. Đấy. Cua hàng đế đấy bạn, chỉ mua mỗi cái chân thôi. Còn đây là mực chiên. Mực chiên. Còn đây là ngô các bạn ạ. Ngô này là ngô nếp, rất là dẻo. Tuy đắt nhưng mà ngon. Đấy. Bây giờ thì xin mời các bạn ăn tối cùng ăn chiều nhá, cùng nhà mình nha. Nào, ngồi luôn ra đây. Come close to here, so we can eat.
I get a knife for those potatoes.
told us it was deadly force? He said it's deadly force because the force is capable of killing a person, which makes it deadly force. Now, deadly force, ladies and gentlemen, once you see what Mr. Floyd was about to with this damage in the prone position, there are certain consequences or the risks that come with the prone position and the use of this kind of deadly force. And that primary risk is it affects your breathing. You heard that from witness after witness after witness.
I got a knife.
It affects
Cái
your
này
breathing.
là nó mới
Makes it harder to breathe. You put yourself into the prone recovery position as soon as possible because you don't want to affect your breathing. Low oxygen. Do you have evidence of low oxygen here? There is evidence of low oxygen, ladies and gentlemen, that is medically unstable. Take, for example, the fact that Mr. Floyd had an anoxic seizure.
Ok. Nào, xin mời các bạn cùng ăn với gia đình nhà mình nhá. Mời các bạn.
Peace. Peace. Peace.
Ok, we can eat.
And you remember we talked about the PEA, the pulse width electrical activity, PEA? The common cause of PEA is low oxygen. You can't fake it. You can't make it. There's
Đây,
evidence of low
ngô này.
oxygen. And it would
Ngô
have
này là
been
ngô
electricity,
ngô nếp,
but would have
rất là
proceeded
ngon.
from the use of this very kind of a deadly force.
Now here's my potato. Is there something, juice or something to put on that or not really? I don't care.
In 29 seconds.
Juice? No. Just eat it like that or use some of that juice.
We did some juice here, very good.
Oh, yeah. There's the potato. Good. One more.
Nothing could be further from the truth.
A lot of butter.
What you heard from
Thank you.
whether it's Dr. Langsdale, the ER physician, Dr. Rich, the cardiologist,
Mực
Dr.
chiên.
Colbert, that you've heard so much about, Dr. Smart, so many of the doctors you heard, that here's, and Dr. Baker also, and Dr. Thomas, here's where they all converge, is that they recognize, first and foremost, that there was a use of force by Mr. Chauvin that set off
You want my
a
plate?
number of things medically for Mr. Floyd.
How you gonna get all that good stuff out of the shell? That's the hard job.
That means the heart has stopped,
Yeah.
and he's no longer breathing. Now, Dr. Baker will tell you
Này.
that this stress to which Mr. Floyd was subjected
Cua này,
in the subdual
thịt rất là
and
dày.
restraint by Mr. Chauvin and others
Cái càng nó to lắm.
was enough, in, of, and by itself, to explain Mr. Floyd. When asked the question, what is that?
Này.
Getting insufficient oxygen? That's not something I can calculate as a forensic pathologist,
Very good.
said Dr. Baker. That's not something I can calculate as a forensic pathologist, said Dr. Fowler. And Dr. Thomas said the same thing. But the doctor, they said they would defer to pulmonologists in every case, which is who and what we have in Dr. Tobin, who did the calculations, who can tell you how much oxygen was in Mr. Floyd's body. And not only that, he can tell you that when he's put into the prone position, that his oxygen would have decreased by 24%. He
So
can
good.
tell you that when weight was put on Mr.
So sweet.
Floyd's back, the oxygen diminished.
Do I have some of that here?
He can tell you that
Yeah.
the weight on his
Me
back,
too.
that the hypopharynx
Little
would have
bit.
narrowed to
Thank you.
15% or more, making it difficult
Thank
for
you.
anyone to breathe. He was able to tell you medically, scientifically, not only could Mr. Floyd not have survived this diminution in oxygen reserves supply, but no
Ngồi
human
rất
being
nhiều đạm các bạn ạ.
could survive. Based on the science. Based on the science.
Ngon lắm các bạn ạ.
Now,
Mời các bạn nhé.
this
Ngon lắm.
is theoretical, which is a word I think I heard. Theoretical. Well, it's the same theoretical that Dr. Fowler said.
Mình thích
that
ăn
he
cái
would
ngô
want
nếp này.
someone else to create
Rất là
because he
dẻo.
can't do it. And that's exactly what Dr. Tobin did. And so here, ladies and gentlemen, we're only required to show you that Mr. Chauvin's conduct was a substantial cause, a substantial factor in Mr. Floyd's death.
Mời các bạn nhé.
Did he simply die automatically from exclusively from the low oxygen?
Yes.
Ultimately, the law actually translates into not breathing and a heart stopping because
Good.
we have
Thank you.
cardiopulmonary arrest.
Không biết là ăn như này có bị cholesterol không?
Did it first,
Yeah, they've got
it had
cholesterol.
the heart stopped first. Ultimately, they both stopped because we have cardiopulmonary arrest. All stemming back to the dual restraint and neck compression from Mr. Shoulder. They all agree that that was the precipitating point. And then from there, the stresses, the
Good.
strains on Mr. Floyd's body, the low oxygen, culminated
I like you.
in his ultimate demise and his passing away. So I
Eat
want
this
to
too.
address kind of several other points under the heading of what I think
Mực chiên
are
hay nguội.
stories that you've heard versus I think the truths here.
Bạn nhìn này,
You know, the
Càng
case
nó to
started,
không?
I think you all were asked and talked to about there being two sides to every story.
Vâng.
Two sides to
Càng
every
nó
story.
to này.
Which is one of the most dangerous things, I think, about the process of truth, because it suggests that everything is simply reduced to a story. And if it is a story, that means there can be multiple sides to a story, and it can never be truth or reality. Except that what we're about here is
Mình á,
into
thường ăn
the truth, and not simply stories.
ăn cua ấy, dùng kéo ấy,
Now, it is
dễ
most
hơn.
certainly right, for example,
Chứ dùng những cái khác
for a
khó.
police officer to take seriously this overarching mission of the police department,
Yeah.
Thank
How
you.
you
embracing the
What is that?
sanctity of
Kind
life
of-
and protection of
Is
the
that a
public
lot? What is that?
as the highest
Lobster?
values.
Now, king crab,
Mm,
But it is equally wrong.
good.
It is equally wrong
you can put in here. Yeah.
to take this badge,
I'm done with it. Yeah.
No, very
which
good.
is a symbol of a commitment to a higher calling to serve the people. To use this badge
You're
Mm,
gonna make me. You're gonna
very
make me.
delicious.
abuse the public, to mistreat the public, to not follow proper procedures, to not render aid when you should have rendered aid.
Cái nước sốt này là nước sốt tỏi bơ các bạn ạ. Cho nên nó béo.
For that being wrong. Now, you have
Cua này mình nghĩ là
statements to the
họ
fact that Mr.
đánh bắt ở
Shoulder being
cua
concerned
Alaska đấy, cua ở
about,
Alaska,
bystanders in Colorado.
và đây là cua hoàng đế.
Well, if you are looking at the totality of
Nếu mà nó rũi ra to á, chắc là
you
to phải
have
bằng
to bear in mind that at all relevant times here, there were 5 Roman police officers right there. And 4 right there on the scene. And then you got Officer Chang who was there too. There's a reason to call for backup if they felt it was needed. You didn't hear any evidence
Ngon không?
about any call for backup at
Is that
all.
delicious?
I'm getting sleepy. It's so good.
There
Tôi
was
hỏi
a surety
hỏi
that,
Robert là có ngon không? Robert là Robert bảo là
and
buồn ngủ.
I won't say much more about body language, but that has already been discussed.
Nhưng mà ngon, rất ngon. You say ngon lắm đi. Ngon lắm.
Alarm?
Ngon lắm.
No alarm.
Doesn't mean very delicious.
Oh,
Ngon lắm.
no alarm.
He speak Vietnamese.
Melt high bar bone.
And he had all. And what was there to be afraid of here, particularly at this scene? There were 3 high school juniors there and a second grader who was going to the store to get candy. There was a high school senior who was taking her cousin to the store, first responder on this. And there was Donald Williams, who wanted nothing more than to try to intervene, to try to save Mr. Floyd's life. Mr. Charles McDonald, a 61-year-old man, and if I gave him a name, I'll call him the mayor of the neighborhood.
That's good. That's rich enough. I've eaten enough.
And,
No, not
he
enough.
looked out for things, but
Deep
he
in
was
here.
simply there to try to also to intervene to try to save Mr. Floyd's life. So this wasn't the face of fear or concern or worry. You've seen what the face of fear and worry looked like that day at that time. That's what fear and worry looked like. When Mr. George Floyd was well aware that with one wrong move of his hand, one turn in the wrong direction,
Can you say
And it could be his
King
last
crab,
one.
that
And he
mean
could be shot to death.
cua hoàng
Over
đế.
investigation around
Cua
fake $20 bill.
hoàng đế.
Cua hoàng đế.
Yes. Good job.
Now you were told some stories about the bystanders.
Now I'm pretty much full, but is this the extent of today's lunch, right?
You've gotten to meet them now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've gotten to meet 2/3 of ones who were there at that time. I described it earlier as a bouquet of humanity. I call it that because they came in different
Oh,
ages.
you need to have
different
some here.
genders,
That,
different races, and they
green
all came
mushroom.
together focused on the one thing,
Very good one.
which was they saw
See?
that a human being they did not
I'll
know
check it away.
was
That's
suffering,
I'm gonna get a bite of
and they
that.
wanted
Yeah,
to try
very
to
good.
intervene to stop.
I don't want it all. Not the whole thing.
And,
No, the
in
whole
that
thing.
sense,
Ah!
Delicious.
they were not only
Don't
symbols
drop.
of the love and care of the one and courage,
Wow. Big.
but they
Rất
were
ngon
also
lắm,
something
ngon lắm.
more.
How you say big?
They were also symbols of what
Miếng
it
to
means to
quá.
respect this man.
Miếng to quá.
Because they were in a
Quá.
very difficult spot, and you saw them on the stand almost to the last one in tears. You felt the anguish even a year after the fact. They felt torn between their love for the sanctity of life itself that had them wanting to intervene in Floyd's life, and on the other hand, their respect for the power that Nash represents for the city,
Cái này nó gọi
for
là
the state.
green mushroom.
Now, the ultimate proof of this.
I'm gonna have to go lay down
Those
now.
bystanders did not respect this.
How you say go lay down?
Sleep.
Sleep.
And simply have removed Mr. Schultz. Then we wouldn't have got any discussions about how reasonable it was for him to stay on advance night the way he was reading.
Làm một giấc ngủ trưa.
But none of them did that. None of them did that. Because they
Good.
respected
Chợp
the
mắt,
man
you say
who was
chợp
on
mắt.
the side.
Chúc mắt.
None of them did that.
Not chột mắt. Chợp mắt.
On the police.
Chúc mắt.
Instead, they respected the phone.
Chột mắt, that mean like this.
What they were seeing.
Nothing.
so they could not be-
Chột mắt.
so they could not be misrepresented. Instead, they waited for their day
Chợp
to come in
Chợp.
and talk
Chợp.
to you.
mắt.
Mắt.
Not
Perfect.
to tell the story,
Good
Chúc
job.
mắt.
but to tell
Yeah.
the truth.
Chúc mắt.
Not chột mắt like this.
They didn't deserve to be called unwilling because they weren't. And you will hear time and again, oh, the crowd was getting louder.
Oh, you're
the
funny.
crowd was getting more agitated. Earlier in the trial, you hear, oh, they were getting angry and angry. And so we can't see somehow.
I like these lawyers. They're very good. Better than what I
The
saw.
fact that a defense
About what?
These lawyers on TV are
man is literally losing his life one breath at a time, right in front of them, and there's nothing that they can do. If you love life, you get excited when you see life being taken. When that's your
Các
perception.
bạn ạ, bữa trưa này
That's what they were excited about.
dành cho hai người
And you all just simply walk
60 đô.
and watch it.
60 đô nó khoảng là 1,3 triệu các bạn ạ. Ở bên này thì cũng không phải
That's
là
all they were upset.
one more, then I go bye bye.
không phải là quá đắt.
Of helpless.
Onion rings.
Tại vì
What you heard about.
ăn ở nhà hàng bao giờ đắt hơn, mà nhất là ở
The stories really are
Colorado
just
ấy.
excuses they get told.
miền Tây này thường là nó không có đồ hải sản tươi sống bao giờ cũng đắt, bởi vì nó mang từ miền Đông hoặc là nhập từ các nước khác hoặc là California, cho nên là bao giờ cũng đắt hơn. Nếu như các bạn đến ví dụ Maryland này hay là Virginia này hay là
I will tell you.
California thì có thể là sẽ rẻ hơn.
I will tell you what it is. And
Còn ở
that's all
Colorado này đồ ăn hải sản mà tươi sống ấy thì nói chung là đắt hơn.
And you've heard it.
Nhưng mà thích ăn gì phải
So let me
chấp nhận nha các
Let me
bạn.
walk through some of it. You've heard accounts that the traffic was
Thì nước
distracted
sốt này béo lắm các bạn.
to Mr. Show. Well, the fact was, that the 911 dispatcher, Jenna Sturry, who was watching the scene, and she said that the officers remained in the same place, in the same positions, for so long, on top of the body of Mr. Floyd, that she thought the camera was broken and frozen.
Mình á,
They weren't distracted. They weren't looking around.
Giống bố mình.
concerned about,
Chỉ thích ăn đồ hải sản.
about the traffic or anything else. They had an officer there, Officer Tao, whose job it was. Just to fend off and keep away distractions. And could have called others.
Good.
We've also heard about the paramedic taking
Don't eat too much, we'll eat salmon tonight.
Paramedics took longer to get there than was planned.
No, I don't eat
Should
salmon.
have been there within 3 minutes. And your common sense will tell you that the mere fact that the paramedics took
Đồng
longer
chí bảo chứ.
to get involved, there's certain amount of
Đừng có ăn nhiều quá. Tối nay còn ăn cá hồi nữa. Làm sao mà ăn cá hồi được?
only being different
Cá hồi chẳng qua là vì hôm qua mua
reasons that have
thì nấu nó lên cho nó tươi.
to do.
Chứ còn mình cũng không ăn, mình cũng không thích ăn cá hồi.
We heard about the
Cái thịt cá hồi mình không thích.
paraganglioma, which was also referred to as incidental, because that's how rare it is and insignificant it is.
Right and go.
The hallmark of a paraganglioma, headaches. Mr. Floyd wasn't reporting headaches, so you're going to talk about a paraganglioma. Why don't you talk about the fact that you know the hallmark is headaches? If this is about getting at the truth, and as well, performing an honest assessment, if that's what we're doing. The fact of the matter is, the paragangliomas, there have been 6 cases in reported history, all reported history, where somebody had a sudden death from a paraganglioma. Period. Carbon monoxide. Now, other than Mr. Nelson saying that the car was turned on at the time, nobody from that witness stand from the evidence in this case said that the police car was on. You did hear it was a hired vehicle. You know, how are we talking about carbon monoxide in the car, and there's no evidence from the stand that the car was even on? If we're gonna talk about carbon monoxide and give this a reasonable, assessment.
Mời các bạn
But
này.
even more to the point about carbon monoxide, that you just can't lose sight of. Whose car was it, ladies and gentlemen? That if Mr. Floyd is being subdued on the ground by Mr. Shaw, and if he puts his face in front of the tailpipe of a car to spew out carbon monoxide, why isn't that an unreasonable use of force? In your custody is in your care. It's not in your custody, I don't care. In your custody is in your care. What reasonable police officer would apprehend someone on the ground, subdue them, and put their face in front of them?
Very good, thank you.
And they think that's a defense.
Treat.
Robert nói là ngon lắm.
Here,
Xin cảm ơn, ngon lắm.
there's no evidence the car was ever even on.
Lâu lắm nên mới ăn đấy bạn ạ.
One all you need to know, which was, if he was suffering from carbon dioxide,
Lâu lắm nên mới ăn hải sản.
told you,
Ở cái nhà hàng này.
you would get a 98% oxygen saturation from the oxygen they gave, artificially. You heard about the fentanyl overdose. And with this
Này,
one,
mời các bạn nha.
Earlier that afternoon, he was asleep in the car. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not the hallmark of somebody who dies from a fentanyl overdose. It isn't just that you took a nap and dozed off. If you pass away from a fentanyl overdose, you cannot be awakened. You are in a coma. If people are shaking you, it's to no avail. If we're doing an honest assessment of the facts, looking at the totality of the circumstances, if we're going to talk about fentanyl, death by fentanyl or an overdose, why isn't that said? He does not fit the description of anyone who dies from a fentanyl overdose, and even Dr. Fowler conceded from the stand in terms of what a fentanyl overdose looks like. It does not look like somebody who's saying, I can't breathe, my neck hurts, my back hurts, everything hurts. You know, you can't win, I'm not trying to win. That's not what happens when somebody is suffering and dying from a fentanyl overdose. They are completely non-responsive and not reactive at all. Methamphetamine, ladies and gentlemen, what meth? There was so little of it that it was below the therapeutic levels that are given. You heard that from the toxicologist, from NMS, the laboratory that Hennepin County sends off. The medical
Ngô các bạn.
pathology, not pathology,
Đây là cái nước sốt này, nước ngon.
blood samples too.
Hay mình
to
thử
test
dưới
for
rồi nhỉ?
tox. He told you it was a minuscule amount of meth that was in his blood. And then we heard about the pills. Now, on cross-examination of the pills, I brought out the fact that what they were saying was the pill that he was taking in the car was just as likely chewing gum. I showed you just before he was in the car, he was chewing gum in the store, opened his mouth, and saw the same like substance in his mouth. But here's the deal about the pills. if we're really gonna give this an honest assessment of the evidence, why are we talking about pills that are not in the system? We know it's in the bloodstream already. We know he's struggling with opioid addiction. Why are we talking about pills that we know were not in George Floyd? Why? You have to decide that for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Why is it even being brought up and we know what's in his bloodstream? What is the point? And you keep hearing drugs in the car, drugs in the car. And the drugs were one
Cứng
pill.
lắm các bạn ạ.
One pill.
Cứng lắm.
It was not in George Floyd. And there's a suggestion that he was somehow taking it in handcuffs in a police car, which makes no sense. There's no evidence that George Floyd taking any pills in the police car at all. There's a pill found only. You heard references and talking about Dr. Tobin
Đây, ra cũng khó.
and his 46 years of experience studying the way people breathe. But, no, Mr. Sheldon's not a medical doctor. He doesn't have these years of experience and hours of
Cua.
full records.
Cắn miếng.
He didn't need it, ladies and gentlemen, because you know who else is not a medical doctor? 9-year-old girl was also not a medical doctor. You didn't need to be a medical doctor to understand that when somebody's saying, I can't breathe, and not just saying it, everything about them is showing that they can't breathe. And when that ends, they just are passed out. You don't need
Robert ăn ít hơn mình.
a PhD.
Mình á,
You
đồ
don't
hải
need
sản thì
MD,
mình
to
ăn được nhiều
understand
hơn.
how fundamental breathing is to life. And when somebody's saying, I cannot breathe, and they have passed out, and you're aware that they don't even have a pulse, even a 9-year-old little girl knows it. Get off of it. That's all you needed to know in that case. You, just a couple more of these, because I can't even do them all because there are so many. This concern that George Floyd would somehow come to again. He would come back around again. And they'll say, not, well, we didn't really need superhuman strength, except maybe we really did need superhuman strength. Because he's got all this extra strength now, and he's going to do massively things. Now, we heard from 3 medical examiners, ladies and gentlemen. 3 of them. Between the 3 of them, they probably have done close to 15,000 autopsies. And not a single one of them testified about one instance ever where somebody who didn't even have a pulse somehow spontaneously came back to life, broke handcuffs, and went face to city. It's the facts of this case, not some other thing. Mr. Floyd didn't have a pulse. That didn't justify keeping the knee on his neck when we should have been administering CPR and we could have brought it back to life again. Because you're afraid that he would come to with no pulse and rampage the city. That's the sort of thing you see in Halloween movies, ladies and gentlemen, not in real life. Not in real life. The idea that Mr. Floyd suffered from a sudden death, which is what Dr. Fowler was saying. Now he'll say that Mr. Floyd had a fatal arrhythmia in him. That's misleading in a way because, as you've heard from doctor after doctor, ultimately everybody dies in the end of a fatal arrhythmia. Everybody dies of cardiopulmonary arrest, the heart stops and the lung stops, and then the last thing that happens is you get an arrhythmia, and then that's it. Now, is there any evidence that there was an arrhythmia as the primary cause of his death, unrelated to the subdual, restraint, and neck compression on the ground? Zero. There was zero evidence that he had a heart attack. Zero. In fact, his heart was in such normal condition that Dr. Baker, during the autopsy, didn't even have a need to photograph it intact because it was so normal. Now, Dr. Rich did not say anything akin to George Floyd having a normal heart. That's not what he said. What he said was that he had a strong heart. He had a strong heart. And what he meant by that is that he sees patients all the time who may be in need of transplants, who have serious cardiac disease, and they can't even get a normal blood pressure. And he talked to you about how George Floyd, having lived with this for some time, explains how it is that his body and his the arteries that serve the heart were able to compensate in the case of Mr. Floyd, and such that
Mình no rồi các bạn ạ.
Fatal arrhythmia, and there's no evidence that he died of any.
Thôi xin chào các bạn. Video đến đây là hết nhé. Xin cảm ơn các bạn đã xem kênh.
Just two more of these things I just